too much. Okay. Shared here. All right, just real quickly, we're gonna go over the answers to these, and then we have so much to do today. We're gonna just whiz right through it. All right, so here we go. The mother and father frog stay near the eggs. Past tense, present tense, future tense. So first you have to identify what is the verb. In this case, the verb is stay. Is stay past, present, or future? Who has an idea for me? Lennox? It is present. That was the correct answer for that one. After about 2 months, the tadpoles began to look like little frogs. So our verb was began. So what tense is that, Miss Abby? Past. Very good. The female will lay her eggs in a puddle of water. Miss Ellie. Future. Okay, my friends, I'm hoping those of you who are at home are getting warmed up because I'm going to ask you now. Here we go. The adult frogs have brightly colored skin. Have brightly colored skin. So what tense do you think one of those is? I'm looking for a friend who's willing to answer for me, Astria.
Present.
Present. Very good. The female glass frog laid her eggs on a leaf. Laid. So we're looking at laid. Present, past, future. What are we thinking, friends? Did you not get mixed boxes? I did. I never touched any of that, frankly. All right, okay, Ben, help me out with that one.
Past.
Past. Good. Laid. Right there is our key, right? Laid happened before. So lay their eggs. The Amazon horned frog will have a large mouth. What do you think, Mr. Paxton? Future. Very nice. Getting that will have, right? Will have. Very nice job. Most of you did a great job. The only one that most of you had problems with was the began one. And remember, so began happened in the past. Begin would happen in the present. All right. How are we doing? Let me see. Are we good there? All right. Thank you, my friends, for going over that. We're going to quickly get out of my there, get back into this. Here we go for today's lesson. We have a lot to do. Thank you. I have a list here of all the people who shared their books with me. That was super helpful, and I appreciate that, my friends. If you did not share them with me, then it was hard for me to be able to see what you need to, suggestions you needed to have to help. A lot of people need capitals on their titles. So one of those things when we eventually get back to our books, which we will later today, I want you to double check your capitals on your title. All important words should have a capital. And also if your publisher name needs to, it's a name of a company. So it needs, all those words need a capital as well. All right, our learning targets today, there's a lot. So let's get to it. So the first one is I can revise my informative essay about my freaky frog to include simple, compound, and complex sentences. So we're going to review what those kind of sentences are. And then I'm going to ask you to look at your colored essay and your painted essay and look and see if you have all three of those. And if not, see if you can add one. Then we are going to transfer all of our writing into our Freaky Frog book. So we're going to have to find our pourquoi. I'll help you show you how to do that. You're going to need to find your paragraph about your one particular kind. You know, we had our advantages of, and we picked 2 different frogs, and our essay, and I'll show you how to do those. Our last one, I can include my sources on my essay about my freaky frog. I decided it was easier to add our sources to the actual Google slide than it is to add it to the colored thing and then copy it. Okay, so we're going to do that last. Hopefully we'll get to that today. All right, so we're going to start with poison dart frog simple sentence example. So a lot of your work on your essay had a lot of simple sentences. So here are some examples. Poison dart frogs are quite small. Some can be as small as 1 inch long. They live in Central and South America. They live in tropical forests and they eat ants and mites. Poison dart frogs have special features. They help them to survive. What do you notice about all of those sentences? What do you notice about all of those, Robert? They each are a fact. You're right. Very good. They are all good, solid sentences, aren't they? They have a fact. They're about the poison dart frog. They're all good sentences. However, what else do we notice about them? Noah? They're very simple, aren't they? They're very straightforward, simple sentences. And did you notice my voice when I read them? Did that? My voice seemed very stunted as I was reading through that. Yes, because I had so many periods to stop at, right, Cooper? We stop at every sentence, at every period, right? But if you have a lot of simple sentences, is your voice going to sort of sound like that? Because you have so many periods. So we're going to talk about how do we make some of those simple sentences more interesting without just making them longer, but what can we combine into better sentences? So there's their little drawing of their, this is brightly colored skin like red, yellow, and blue, carries eggs and tadpoles on its back. Are those sentences? No, because they're missing some sort of subject, right? So we don't want you to, we like nice complete sentences versus those partial sentences. However, we want to make them more interesting as well. So our simple sentence, let's just review this, contains one clause, one simple clause. An independent clause is one complete thought that makes sense on its own. An independent clause usually contains a subject and a verb, or a subject and a predicate. Good. The frog was hungry. What's the subject? The frog. And then what's our predicate? Was hungry. Simple sentences, right? Now, let's look at compound sentences. So compound sentences, so you might have heard the word compound when we talk about words. Compound words are two set words that we put together to make one word, right? So like ladybug, put them together and we have ladybug. Doghouse, and we put it together, it's doghouse, right? So compound sentences are when you take one sentence that makes sense by itself, you get another sentence that makes sense by itself, and you put them together. So two clauses are joined by a comma and a linking word. This linking word is called a coordinating conjunction. That's some big words, coordinating conjunction. But let's look at the example. The frog was red, so the bird left the frog alone. So we have one sentence that the frog was red. The bird left the frog alone. Two perfectly good sentences, but does the second sentence have something to do with the first sentence? Yes, so we can put them together to make one interesting sentence. And instead of, so there's the words and, but, for, so, and yet. Any of those can be what we call a coordinating conjunction. Now, which one makes the most sense in this case? The frog was red and the bird left the frog alone? It could have worked, but is it the best? No. The frog was red, but the bird left the frog alone? No, because because it's not, but usually is added when we know that they don't have, so then there's something that we're telling is different. The frog was red, yet the bird left the frog alone? No, the frog was red, so the bird, sorry, I can put the so in there. The frog was red, for the bird left the frog alone? No. So obviously it makes better sense. The frog was red, so the bird left the frog alone. Why did he leave it alone, Max? Because it's poisonous, and the bird knows if that red means it's poisonous, right? So two sentences that make sense together, put together with a comma and a conjunction, a coordinating conjunction. All right. One more type of sentence, and then we're going to practice and see how you do on picking out some sentences. All right, so complex. Complex is a little, well, complex, a little more difficult. Still taking two ideas and combining them in a way. You take one independent clause that would stand by itself, and you take one or more dependent clauses. So independent can stand on its own, right? If you're independent, you do it alone. Dependent means you're relying on something else. So I am dependent on Mrs. Aubin being my teammate, right? I rely on her. I need her. So a dependent clause can't stand by itself. It doesn't make sense by itself. So a dependent clause has to be in there. So you join it with what we call a subordinating conjunction. So our example is, because of its red skin, the frog survived another day. So the part that could stand alone, the independent part, is the frog survived another day. But why did the frog survive another day, Max?
Because since it was poisonous, some predators didn't want to eat it.
Okay, because of its skin, right? Because of its bright red skin. Now, because of its red skin, is that a sentence that makes sense by itself? No, because of its red skin. It's missing something, right? So that's our dependent clause, but it adds to our information. Because of its red skin, the frog survives another day. So this is a little bit more complex. Does it make that sentence more interesting now? It does. It makes the sentence more interesting. It makes it as if we were reading our paragraph. Okay, so this is what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to open your workbook to page 131. So everybody open at home. Page 130. 131 is not what I needed at the moment. You may. So page 131 is all of those things I just showed you. So to help you remember what is a compound, what is a simple, what is a complex sentence. Okay. But I want you to look at the sentences on page 130. All right. And I don't want you to use your colors yet. All right. Not yet. But I want you to read through these. And I'm going to go ahead and it's going to be really short, but I'm going to do a real quick breakout room. And I'm going to have you guys turn to a neighbor. And I don't want you to color yet, but I want you to see if you can figure out if sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want you to decide, do you think they're simple, if it's simple or compound, or if it is complex? All right. And then we'll color them in together to make sure. Okay. So no coloring yet, but I want you to turn to a partner and I want you to see if you can figure out what kind of sentence you think it is. And if you're not sure, look on page 131. All right, my friends in my breakout room, I'm going to send you, oops, let's see. Okay, I'm going to do, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to send you, and I want you to look over and decide on page 130 what you think those sentences are. All right, I'm going to do it just for a couple minutes, so you guys are going to have to decide quickly. All right, go ahead and join. Join. All right, everybody turn to a partner. Try to figure it out. Page 130. Turn to somebody quick. Group of 2 or 3. Miss Haley, you got to join. Thank you. What kind of sentence do you think it's going to be? Are you guys looking at it? You're working with August? Okay. Do you need a friend? I do have a Charlie and Max, you can be partners. Okay. You have a partner here? right, so we're going to decide. What do you guys decide? You don't have to write it down. Didn't find anything to eat. But they can accept on its own? All right. Okay, we're going to come on back. See how we did. All right. This is where I need you to have your colors now, because we're going to color code the sentences. All right. My friends who are coming back. All right. This is where we need our colors. All right. All right.
Even my all blocks do first.
Well, it's rough. All right. Thank you, friends. I hope you got some good ideas. So now, the simple sentences are going to be blue. Okay. Simple sentences are blue. I'm going to put the dock camera and show you. Compound sentences are red, in my case, pink. And complex are going to be green. Do you see how those words are underlined and colored? Okay. However, I'm not going to be doing it on this paper. I'm going to do it on this one. So I will help you through that. All right. Let's go back to Mrs. Harrison's dock camera. All right. So we'll see how you did. Some of these were hard. The frog was hungry. What did we decide about that? And then you have to back up your answer. Why did you pick that? Lyric. So one of the tricks is, does a simple sentence have less words? Yes, for sure. Is it just one idea? Yes. So the frog was hungry. We're going to underline it blue. It is simple. All right. Let's see. I'm going to expand my pictures here. Okay. Who at home can help me with number 2? What did your group decide for number 2? Looking, Logan, what did you guys decide?
Compound.
Compound. So a lot of you thought that second was a compound sentence.
I mean complex.
That's better. Okay. So remember, compound has to have a comma, but it also has to have the conjunction, right? The coordinating conjunction. And so that's the and, but, for, so, or yet. Do we see any of those words in there? No. So if you look about both parts of the sentence, while the frog was looking for food, does that make sense on its own? No, it does not. So it is a complex. Good job, Logan and his group. Complex sentence. Number 3, the frog was red, so the bird left the frog alone. What time do we think this one is? All right. Some of my friends at home are on fire. Let's see if I can get, my friend Logan definitely has an answer, but I'm going to see if I can get somebody else. Miss Astria, what are you thinking?
I think it's compounds.
Compound. What's your proof? Tell me why you decided that.
Is because it has a comma.
It does have a comma and a coordinating conjunction, the word so, but what else makes it, because there's a comma in a complex sentence too. Can somebody help her out? Is there some more proof? Ellie, what do you think? The frog was red. Does that make sense? Can that stand alone? No. Yes, the frog was red. Yeah, totally stands by itself. The bird left the frog alone. Also can stand by itself, but when we put it together, we make a compound sentence. Very good. And we used red. Yes, red is our compound color. The frog was red, so the bird left the frog alone. Since the frog was red, the bird knew it was poisonous. What do we think about this one? So it's similar to number 3. What are we thinking? What do we think? Looking for my friends at home. What did you guys decide when your breakout group? Miss Isabella, what are you guys thinking? What'd your group think?
We didn't get to there yet.
You didn't get to there yet? All right. No worries. All right. Abby, what did your group decide? Compound. Since the frog was red. Does that make sense by itself? Since the frog was red. Is it missing some information? Yes. The bird knew it was poisonous. That can stand on its own. But when we have 2 sections, one doesn't make sense by itself, it becomes complex. All right. The bird looked for other food. The bird looked for other food. What do you think, Nixon? Simple. The frog looked for a long time, but didn't find anything to eat. I talked to a couple groups about this one. It took a little bit of discussion to be able to figure this one out. What do you think, Lila M?
So, I think it's compound. Even though it doesn't have the comma, it still has but.
Okay. All right. So a lot of you were thinking about that. The frog looked for a long time, but didn't find anything to eat. So let's look what happens after the word but, though. Didn't find anything to eat. Didn't find anything to eat. Can that stand
Didn't
alone?
find anything to eat.
Can that stand alone? No. So unfortunately, it's not compound. It is complex. Why couldn't he find it? He looked, but he didn't find anything to eat. So that one's complex. Sometime later, it found some ants to eat. What do we think about that one? What do we think about that one? Haley Booker, any ideas? What do you think?
I think that it might be like a simple.
Sometime later, it found some ants to eat. Okay, well, it does have fewer words, but it has a, what is the sentence that could stand alone inside there? Any ideas, Serene? Perfect. It found some ants to eat is our main independent clause. Then we have those other words, sometimes later. What does that add? Does that make it compound or complex? Can sometime later stand by itself? No. So what do we have for that one? Complex again. Because of its red skin, the frog survived another day. What do you think on this one? Lyric, what are you thinking? Compound because of its red skin. Does that stand by itself? Nope. So it makes it what? Complex. Wow. Did they put a lot of complex ones in here? Yes. Why do you think they would do that? Why do you think they would put a lot of complex sentences in there? Abby, why do you think? Okay. So, Abby, what do you think? To give us some practice. And are complex sentences more interesting?
Yes.
Yes. So what are they trying to help us understand? That when we add complex sentences, our writing is more interesting. And they were showing us a variety of ways to do those sentences so we could have those kind of sentences for our writing as well. All right. So this is when we look at our checklist. One of the sections that we have, it says words and sentences follow the rules of writing. That's that section on page 119 that is toward the bottom. And do simple, compound, and complex sentences go along with that? They do. They go along with that. So we are going to, what I'm going to ask you to do now is I'm going to ask you to open up a tab. You're not going to have a long time to do this, I'm afraid. So I'm going to, because we have lots to do today. Open up your tabs and find your colored, so let's see if I can find mine. I will see if you can pull up your painted essay, your copy of your painted essay. Looks like this. All right, pull up your very own. Not mine, yours. Okay. And I want you to read through those sentences, especially the ones in the introduction. And I want you, don't worry about my sentences, find your own. My friends at home, you can hear me. You don't need to see me right now. So definitely open up that tab that's got those compounds or those sentences in it. And I want you to read through and see, can you add a comma and an and, or comma and but, or comma and so? Can you add some things in there to make them compound? Could you add a dependent clause to make one of your sentences more interesting? I want you to read through all of your work, and I'm going to give you just a few minutes to see if you can do that. So Max, read, and see if you can change some of your sentences to be simple, compound, complex. That's what I'm asking you to do. Okay, Henrik? Go back and see what you can do. See if you can find one place at least, okay? Everybody find one place. Lucas, are you on your page? Did you find it? Okay, try to see if you can read through and find one place that you can add a complex or a compound sentence maybe. We don't want all of them to be, but I'd love for you to find at least one place that you could make either a compound or complex sentence. Okay, bud? Do you need a Kleenex? Okay. And I would love it if somebody be willing to share what they did to improve. They're right here. All those rules are right there. Here's the example. And here's the description. Compound, right here. Compound is when you put two sentences that stand alone together. Oh, you don't need to worry about the colors on your writing. You don't have to do the colors on your painted essay. Ryder, are you going to have something to be able to share with me in a minute? Awesome. So if you're putting those two sentences together with an and or a but or a for or a yet or a so, make sure that you have that comma before that coordinating conjunction, right? All right, let's hear Ryder's and see if he can give us some inspiration. Ryder, what did you do? Can you read it for me?
I put so and I put it on a sentence, and it's a really big sentence.
Please read it for me.
The water holding frog has colors to help survive, like it has colors to help it blend in, and it also stores water in its stomach so it can have water for the summer. Okay. So I liked your idea. I think you actually have, even though you put two parts together, I think you have actually two sentences there. Can you put the part about blending in separate from the part in there? Perfect. So what my friend Ryder did is he put the adaptation, and then his next sentence was how it helped him survive. So he put so, comma so, and put those two sentences together. Ellie, give me your example. All right, very good. Ellie had water holding frogs do not, and you know, she had her first sentence and she said comma, but they do this instead. Very nice. Sorry, I didn't get all the right words though. All right, Madison, give us an example of when you did. Okay, it is super big. So you had it is super big, period. And then it can keep predators away. So you had two sentences and you put a comma and a so in there. Very nice. Okay, compound sentence, right? Good job. Surnay, what'd you do? Whatever you did to help us, just giving us an example of what you could do. Okay, so you have all those those sentences that are by themselves, right? Is there any way that you could add a phrase to make one of those complex? Just think about it. Mr. Lennox, what do you got? Okay, wowzer. All right, so what I'm also noticing is sometimes you guys have what we call a run-on sentence. And so I want you to make sure that just because a sentence is long, we don't want to have 3 or 4 sentence ideas in there, right? That's what we call a run-on. You have to make sure that if we have a complex or a compound, that we're having those ideas that make sense to go together. And remember, as authors, we have, when we read our work out loud,
if you need to take a breath, what usually needs to go there? A period, right? So you can't have too many ideas together. I don't want you to go, oh, I have two short sentences and just shove them together if they don't go together. All right. So make sure that it's appropriate that they're there. Miss Haley Booker, do you have you're looking at your painted essay? Okay. Give me a thumbs up? Okay. Everybody at home, give me a thumbs up if you added a compound or a complex sentence. Mr. Gavin, did you get a chance to do a compound or a complex sentence yet? That's what nope. Okay. I need you to look for one. All right, Leo, good job. Jensen, did you get one, my friend? Did you make a compound or complex sentence?
No.
Okay, that's what I need. That's what I'm asking you to do right now. Haley Calendar. Hopefully she'll be there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on because we again have so many great things to do today. So I'm hoping you got that in there. If you have not yet, please think about that. All right, these are the next three things we're going to do today. So I'm going to tell you, I would like everybody's hands, unless you're finishing typing, which I see a couple people are getting their ideas down. But I want the rest of us to just take a moment to watch. All right. And I want our hands off our computers because as soon as I start talking and you see what I'm going to do, you're all going to want to do it, which is good because I want you to be independent, but I want to make sure you see what I'm doing first. Okay. So this is what we need to do next. We're going to copy and paste our pourquoi. So don't look for your pourquoi yet. Just wait. Then we're going to copy and paste your adaptations paragraph. Not yet. And then finally, we're going to copy our essay, that one we just talked about, into. But I want to show you how to do that. So Bird, hands off for a second. All right. So Mrs. Harrison has her Freaky Frog book. And of course, she has more in hers than you have in yours because it's the model, right? But you guys did your covers. And then you should have a page that looks like, everybody hold that. Yeah, I'm going to give you some time to work in a minute. So don't worry. So here's my cover, right? You guys made those. The second slide that you guys have is going to say table of contents, but it doesn't have numbers there yet. And there's a reason for that because your work might take more than one slide because the very first thing we need to do is our polywogs. And Mrs. Harrison's art, this is the one we wrote together, the polywog one. And so when I copied and pasted about Maddie and her friends and trying to get away from, the chameleon, right? Steve, very good. You guys remember, I had to take 3 pages to copy it in there. So I had to add some more slides, okay? So I want to show you how to do that first. So just chill for a second. So what you're going to eventually do is you're going to open up again your, because you did all these pourquois at home, okay? So you're going to make sure you have opened up your Google, and mine is taking forever for whatever reason to do. So then you'll find your document. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. There's my waffle. So it is some of you don't, I see hands that are eager. Just hold on. So when you are looking for your document, it is a doc. It's a Google Doc. So you're going to open up your Google Docs and you hopefully will remember what you called. Now, I have a million other things in here, but you should not have nearly as many as I do. So you're going to scroll down until you find the title of your polywog story or your pourquoi story. So once you open it up, you'll have your story there. And so what you'll want to do is if you remember how to copy and paste, you'll actually want the title as well. All right. So I know that if I look at this big old page, look how long it was that we wrote. That is not all going to fit onto one slide. So this is what I did. I highlighted and now it's taking forever to highlight. That's nice. All right, so I took a part of it, not highlighting there. Okay, thinking about it, okay. And then when you want to copy it, Some of you are really good at knowing how to use your keys to copy it, but there's another way as well. You can go up to edit and copy, and it'll just copy that part that you want, that you highlighted. All right. Make sure you don't click on cut because that gets rid of it. So make sure you definitely do copy. So then it copies that section. Then here is my frog story. And I'm just going to show you again. So say you have your blank. Here you have your nice blank slide, right? Nothing on it. Not the table of contents one. This next blank one. Then I'm going to click on the text box because right now it doesn't, I don't think I can't remember. I might have already given you text boxes. So you just go ahead or you can just add one. Then you just go ahead and either use your keys with the V, right, to paste, or you can come up here and say paste, and it will paste in. There's my Pollywog story. But so I might have to make it out a little bit longer. Oh, and there it fits. Okay, but is that all of my Pollywog story? No. So then I'm going to need to add a slide, and this is how you add. You go up to the plus, and it says new slide. It will give me another slide, but then I have to go back to my tab with the Polywogs, right? Go back to my tab, see where I ended my highlighting, right? And then I need to go ahead and highlight my next section. Now, many of yours are not as long as mine, so you may only take 2 slides instead of 3. Or some of you with really short stories, it might just take 1, and that's okay. So the idea is you don't want the font to be super small, but you also don't want it to be really big. So I kept mine at the 18 that we all did ours. All right. Again, just to show you how you copy it, I went back up to edit and copied just what I highlighted, clicked back on my book, added a text box, and then pasted it in. All right. So, and there's the rest of my story. Oh, my text box is too thin. I just bring it out and it looks, oh, fits back in again. Okay. I want you to try that. All right. I want you to try. So are you going to have to bring up your Freaky Frog book as a tab? Yes. So I want you're going to have to open the tab that's got your Freaky Frog book, and you're going to have to find your Pollywog story. Okay. Or not Pollywog story, your Pourquoi. Now, some of you didn't do Polywogs. You did all kinds of other things, you know, poor frogs trying to avoid, you know, eagles and falcons and dinosaurs and all those other things. Yes. So again, you're going to open up your tab. You're going to open it up, find your Pourquoi. Make sure you also have your book available because you're going to have those empty pages on your book. Okay, so I want you to try that out. It's going to take some time. Try that out. Yes, sir. No, you copy you do your story, your Pourquoi. This is your Freaky Frog book, not mine. So you're finding your story. So well, not the Pollywog one, what your story is. Okay, so you're in doc, so you probably keep scrolling. Your Freaky Frog book, perfect. Okay, so here you have you're going to need this one in a minute. That's your adaptations, okay? And then you're looking for your why isn't it? There it is. There you go. I will help you. I'd love to help you, but if you go quickly, and the earmuffs need to be off inside the room.
So are we doing like the one like we wrote in the book?
Yeah, so this is the one you guys wrote over Christmas. Your Pourquoi is why frogs do whatever. Why frogs? Your Freaky Frog. Okay, so it's going to be in your slide. Wherever your Freaky Frog. Yep, so it's going to go. There you go. Okay. All right, so now you get that open. So you're going to go down. This thing is still thinking. Another thing. So you're gonna not do it on this one. You're gonna do it on this one. And then so you're gonna insert a text box. And then you're gonna take your story. Copy. You already copy it? Sure. Go in here. Oh. Okay, I want. So we're gonna take part of it. Take furniture on. But then I'm going to put and then I'm actually going to Guys, your replies in your documents, okay? So it's not a slideshow. All right. I have What do you think of this? Now, go back in and then take it all. Oh, can you do this? Black on All right, if you are somebody who's already done it, if you can help somebody else who's struggling, rather than talking. Here's your freaky prize. And I can help you. Your what? Sure, but they should not be on. All right, how are my friends at home doing? How are my friends at home doing? We doing okay, Mrs. Aubin? Do you know if you can get rid of the highlights from when you get editing ideas? So you just on highlight, just click here where it says highlight and you hit white. Because like it says Lori Harrison on the side when you did Noah's feedback. You shouldn't have copied that part. That shouldn't have copied.
Can I have a question?
Yes, yes.
What's the thingy on the back where what's the thingy on the back where you have to like the photo that
we're not doing the back cover right now. Haley, we're getting our pourquoi. We shouldn't be working on the back cover right now, okay? That's not what we're working on right now. Jensen, are you doing okay?
No, I haven't even found my book.
Okay, so so find your pourquoi, your story that you did before Christmas, and copy it and then paste it into your spot.
Yeah, but I forgot what it's called.
Did you hit undo? Have you touched it at all right
No,
now?
I haven't even touched it.
Okay, let's click undo. Okay, well, let's see what we got. Let me go back. Okay, how's that look now? But long ago, there were 3 frogs. That's your beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, Maddie was a glass frog. She was the most scared one. The frogs are Olivia Long. And there were 3 frogs. Their names were Mary, Maddie, Olivia. Okay. Okay. Well, is it just that first beginning part, it looks like? Okay. Well, long ago, there were 3 frogs. Maddie was a glass frog. Is that what it's supposed to say next? No, what's it supposed to say next? Bird. Are you helping? Are you helping or just dancing? Okay. Okay, so it looks like something got moved. Okay. Do you know how to copy and paste things so that they move? Okay, so try to see if you can. Me doing it for you isn't a good idea because you know how it goes and I don't. So if there's a spot that you want to move, what you just do is you just highlight it, and then if you go up here and you say, where's the rest of it? So, Mrs. Harrison, here's all of it. Let's see. All right. I'm waiting for your cut in time. Okay. I'm not sure you know, sweetie. That's disappointing, isn't it? I'm sorry. It's very frustrating. Do you think, could we do this? Could we paste it into the new place and then you could play with it? How about we do that? How about we copy it off, the whole thing. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Is this your one here? Okay. We're going to put it in here. Okay. And then you can play with it a little bit. All right. Here, let's. Here. All right. So that's obviously way too big and has issues, right? But you're going to. And it's going to take you more than one slide, probably. See how the slide ends there? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one here, this part here, and we're going to cut it. Watch what I did here. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to put it in the next one, and then I'm going to paste it. So you've got 2 pages. Okay? I'm going to put this back where it belongs. There we go. See how it all fits now? Okay, now see if you can go in and, I'm sorry, sweetie, I don't know what happened to it.
I put
Yes,
the
sir.
frog adaptation story in.
Did you?
She told me to.
Oh, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
I already put it in.
Hi.
Not like this.
That's because you are doing the template that you took a copy of. That's not your freaky frog book. She's not on the right one. That's what I'm telling you. She needs her slides, not my slides. That's the template that we made a copy of. Yeah, that's why she can't do anything. So she needs the copy. She needs that. Now she can do it. All right. So my friends at home, if you're done with your pourquoi, then you can go find your adaptations. So here's Mrs. Harrison's adaptations. Mine's colored. We don't want it colored anymore. So this is how we're gonna, so you can highlight the whole thing. Yours should not be colored. But if it is, then you can highlight it and make sure that the highlighting is white, and it'll take away all of your highlighting, because I know Isabella likes to highlight, but
Miss
we don't
Harrison
need
already
any
did.
highlighting. So do your adaptations on another page if you are ready for that. And you can even do, if you're ready, you can even do your essay. You can copy and paste your, I'm going to show everybody how to do that better. Well, because it's a slide. Yeah. So it's our slides. Well, you could have looked in your Google Drive and it would have been there too. So it looks like it's right here. Yep.
I have not got a title or anything.
Oh, you're kind of behind. Okay. Well, all right. Copying and stuff for me. All right. Gavin, are you getting things put in your book, bud? All right. Hey, Mr. Gavin, I just want to, you did not share your Freaky Frog book with me. Can you share it with me? Okay, because I don't have yours. And I also don't have Haley calendars either. So if you guys could do that for me. Haley, could you share your Freaky Frog book with me? Because for some reason I don't have you there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Put your hand down. Raise your hand if you're pocket.
Okay, so is that in here? In this one?
It's just that only says you need to scroll up.
Okay.
Scroll down.
Oh, I see.
Did you get it?
Give me just a second, sweetie.
Let me see.
Okay, I don't see it now.
Not helpful. Go sit down. You're not being helpful.
No,
Mrs. Harrison can't hear.
Oh.
We're trying to help people who need help.
Okay.
So, August, you need help?
So
Paxton, Ryder, and if you also do not have it up high, I can't see you. Is your hand up? Gabe, because I can't get to you unless I know. And we don't want you to move on until we have a reason. Okay.
okay, so if you, yep. So that's going to have to be so that'll be a third page. Okay, does that make sense? All right. I was going to say, okay. So if, all right. So can I have everybody's attention for a minute? If you're ready to move on. So the next thing you need to look for is your adaptations. Now, Mrs. Harrison's adaptations look like this because they're color coded because I was helping you, but yours should not have colors. And if for some reason you did, because some of you like to do that, then this is what you do. You color code or you highlight it, and then you go up to highlight and you just pick white and poof, it'll all go away. Okay, so you shouldn't have highlighted in the first place, but some of you like to. So I'm going to go back to mine and undo so I can, because I want to keep my highlighting. Okay, so this is our adaptations paragraph. It should have sources at the bottom. You should have a source. Okay, so when I get to there again, I'm going to look for it under my docs. It's a Google Doc. And it started out as something to do with adaptations. Adaptations are special things and so on. So I'm going to go do the same thing I did before. I'm going to copy the whole thing. I'm going to use my Control-C or whatever you need to do for yours, or I can go up in here and hit copy. I'm going to go back to my Freaky Frog book. And now I'm going to find my next blank page. But in your case, you probably have some blank ones. I would need to insert mine after my story. So I'm going to just really quickly delete a couple of my extra pages that I don't need. All right. And then I'm going to insert an extra because I don't have any extras, but you should have an extra one. Go back to the text box, click on it, add a text box, can hit paste, and that'll put my story in. Now my story I'll fit on one page. Yours should probably do that as with, now my pourquoi did not, but your one paragraph one should only be one page. It should all fit on one slide. If it doesn't, you might need to mess with the with your font a little bit or your sizing. But this is at 18, and I still fit mine into, oh, mine's 14, but it still has plenty of room here. I can make it a little longer, and it could still be 18 and still fit on a page. Okay, so that's your second job, is you're now getting sure if you've done your pourquoi, now you're doing your adaptations page. Oh, except for we're running out of time. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So tomorrow, so if you're in the middle of this, I know Mrs. Aubin's class has to go. Mrs. Harrison's class actually can continue to work because we're not heading out to art at the moment. So we don't have art today. There's no substitute. So
But we can't just do this at here.
you could do this at yep, we can work. We'll bring it back with you for OG and we can work on it too. All right, so Mrs. Aubin's friends, go ahead and close up. My friends at home, if you could get your, we're gonna do that later. I'll get you, not yet. So if you guys, oh no, this, Fed, you need the source for your paragraph, just not your essay. Okay. All right, my friends at home, hold on. I have to stop sharing. Hold on. My friends at home, if you can get at least your, we'll start tomorrow with our, getting our painted essay on our page. But if you guys can get at least your pourquoi and your adaptations added to your pages, that would be great. Okay, get those at least done for me. All right, and I will see you guys either at All Block or OG or wherever you need to be. Bye, Mrs. Isabella. Oh, hey guys, Mrs. Aubin wants you to do your Native American assignments. Get those Native American assignments done, okay? Astria, you need to do your Native American assignments, okay? That's the 8 o'clock assignment. All right. I did. Well, Mrs. Aubin says she doesn't have any grades for those. Did you do the Google form?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you do the planes for today?
No.
Okay. So go do that one for her. Okay. All right. All right. I'll